Hey, so in my October and November UK credit card update, I will, as ever, in the second half of this video, take you through the longest 0% purchase credit card, the cheapest 0% balance transfer credit card, the best credit card to use overseas, all that kind of stuff. But before that, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on a few welcome offers and cashback deals and things like that, which are well worth knowing about. This includes boosted offers from American Express and Amazon if you open up a card with them. I'm also going to take you through my thoughts on the Platinum credit card. Now I've got one from American Express. And also, I want to ask the question, is a cashback credit card still the best way to pay? Because things have changed in the way cards, in the current account world. That means it's now a 1% cashback card, which is a debit card rather than a credit card. So I'm going to see how that measures up. Well, let's kick off with some of those welcome bonuses. And let's start with Amazon. Nice, quick, simple one here. If you haven't had an Amazon credit card before and you successfully apply for the credit card with them, there are two. There's the classic card and there's the platinum card. You will get a £40 Amazon voucher just for being accepted. You don't have to spend anything. Just get the card and get that £40 voucher. That 40 quid is a lot higher than I can ever remember, particularly for the classic card. Sometimes it goes up to 20 quid, sometimes up to 30 quid. I can't remember it being 40 quid before. Maybe it has, but it's a long time since that was the case. So you successfully apply for this card, you get that voucher. Now, if you actually want to use the cards, there is a benefit to either of them depending on your situation. The classic card is often one of the ones which is pretty decent if you are new to credit cards. If you have relatively poor credit history, low credit score, you've got a better chance of getting accepted on that than the platinum card, and potentially a better chance of getting that than many other cards. Of course, and I will go through the rules later on, you make sure you do an eligibility checker before you apply for it, just to make sure you know the chances of you getting accepted for that card are. But hopefully you get accepted for that card and you get a £40 Amazon voucher. Plus, you've got a card then to start spending on, your regular spending, your everyday spending on it, to try and boost your credit report. The Platinum card, on the other hand, is, I think, a really good option if you are an Amazon Prime member. You pay for your Prime membership every single year and you spend a lot of money on Amazon because you will get 1.5% cash back on that card for any of those Amazon purchases that you make. It's not great for spending elsewhere, but it is good for anything you buy from Amazon. And if you're doing that anyway, well, you may as well get this card. I would say kind of the downside slightly to this card, and it's not universal to this one. You get it similarly with other kind of like the John Lewis and Partnership card, but you only get your money back from that card that you earn when you hit a £10 worth of points earned. Then that £10 will be applied to your Amazon account. So it can take a while for that money to come back to you. You've got to spend obviously a decent amount to get £10 back. I also would encourage you just very quickly to, if you are an Amazon user, maybe to try and giving it a miss for a little while and see how you fare. I've not used it at all in 2021. I thought it'd be a challenge. It's been really easy. I've not spent any money at all, a single penny at Amazon. I've actually been saving money because one, I've been buying less things because Amazon's not tempting me to buy things. But two, shopping around has found me some things for less. So that's just a little aside. But if you are thinking, or if you're an Amazon user, maybe give it a miss before you apply for that card. But if you are dedicated to it, try and get that £40 voucher now. The other welcome bonus I want to tell you about is from American Express. This is the Preferred Rewards Gold credit card. Now, if you're a regular watcher of these videos, you'll know it's been my top pick since the spring of this year, I think, for new American Express customers. Basically, as long as you haven't had an Amex in your name in the last 24 months, so one that is actually yours that you applied for, not a supplementary card, you are eligible for this offer. And normally you get 20,000 Amex reward points, which if you convert them from Amex reward points into Avios points into Nectar points, which is really easy to do, you would get about £184, £185 worth of Nectar points in the first 3 months. You've got to spend £3,000 in 3 months to trigger that bonus. Pretty decent, right? That beats all of them in normal times anyway. Until the 9th of November, that bonus has been increased. So again, still spend £3,000 in 3 months, but you get 30,000 Amex reward points. So you convert those plus the points you'd get from spending that first £3,000 in 3 months. And that adds up to £264 if it's converted into Nectar points. So that is a great opportunity if you are eligible for this to get it right now. You've also got a better chance in the run up to Christmas and with inflation pushing prices up to actually trigger that £3,000 bonus. Because if you do not spend £3,000, if you spend £2,999.99 in that first 3 months, you don't get it at all. So you've got to be sure you're going to hit that £3,000 spend. Now, I did mention last month a couple of offers which are pretty decent if you already have an American Express credit card, because normally you're not eligible for those welcome bonuses, but there are two cards that you can get which will give you a bonus of around about the same amount of money, around that kind of 250 quid mark. Again, if they're converted into Nectar points. From the BA Premium Plus credit card, and the Amex Platinum credit card. Watch that video last month if you want details on those, how those works. Plus, I've got an article on the blog which will take you through those details. The difference between the two is, well, number one, you're eligible for these welcome bonuses even if you already have an Amex card in your name, which is great. But secondly, they do come with pretty massive fees. So the trick would be to cancel those cards as soon as you'd hit that bonus. So for the BA Amex Premium Plus card, it was 3 months, $3,000 in 3 months. Once you triggered that, you could cancel that card down and get your refund of the fee pro rata. With the Platinum card, that was $6,000 in 6 months. It's going to take you longer to get it. But again, as long as you cancel the card, well, actually, the important thing here is actually to downgrade the card to the free alternative rather than cancel it. Downgrade it so you still get to keep your points on the card, but downgrade it to the free option instead. And you would, again, pro rata that refund. And they both work out about the 250 quid mark. So we actually took advantage of this offer. We already have a American Express Platinum cashback credit card that we've had. That used to be the best one, not so much anymore. We've had that one, which meant we weren't eligible for any welcome bonuses until this came along. But we went for the full Platinum card. And I just want to share that the card's really nice. I was actually quite surprised. I've always been a bit dismissive of anyone who's, I want a metal card. I'm like, well, it's just a card. What difference does it make? And it makes zero difference. I would not pay over the odds for a metal card with any things like Curve and Monzo and Revolut or anything. I think it's a waste of money. But getting one just as part of this offer with other things come along, it's actually quite nice. The other thing to share with you about this promo is that I mentioned before that there is a £200 restaurant credit deal that started at the beginning of September if you had this card, the American Express Platinum credit card. And there were kind of people speculating that potentially you could still get that offer even if you weren't already a member. So if you joined, got the card, you could get it. Well, we got the card at the beginning of October and we went on to the live chat and they added that offer to our card. So that means we've got £200 credit to spend in restaurants like Hawksmoor or Bob Ricard or even the Ivy Brasserie. So that can't guarantee you that offer will be running if you do apply for this card. But if you do go for it to get advantage of that welcome bonus because you've already got an Amex card existing already, then it's well worth trying to see if you can add that on top. Now, before we get on to my roundup of the cards, I wanted to talk about whether cashback cards are still the best way to pay. Now, obviously, if you are getting one of those welcome bonuses worth potentially 250, 280 quid for the first sort of period, then yeah, absolutely get one of those, get that welcome bonus and spend away because you're not going to get anything like that return from spending other ways. However, if you might already seen the video that I did on the channel about this, there is a new debit card from Chase Bank. This is an American bank from JP Morgan Chase. They've launched it here in the UK. And for the first 12 months, you can get 1% cash back. And that puts it right up there with the best cashback credit cards here in the UK. The normal ones for just everyday spending, previously for an ongoing rate, it's been the American Express Nectar credit card, which give you 1% back, so the same as the Chase thing. However, with that card, the points are Nectar points. Whereas with the Chase card, that is in cash. And not only that, that cash comes straight through to you straight away. There's no waiting for it. So as soon as you come through, maybe a day or two later, you can spend that if you want to on whatever you want, okay? So that, for me personally, means Chase is better than that best Amex card. The difference, I suppose, comes to those store-specific ones. So I mentioned the Amazon Platinum credit card. There's also the John Lewis and Partnership credit card. They will give you that boosted rate, which beats 1% in their retailer. So 1.5% in Amazon if you're a Prime user, 1.25% in John Lewis and Waitrose if you have the John Lewis credit card. So in those cases, obviously, they beat it. But otherwise, I actually would be moving all my spending to that Chase Bank debit card and get that 1% for 12 months. Because also, it's a Visa. It basically means any shop you go to, you don't have to say, do you take American Express? And yes, 8 times out of 10, they'll say they will take American Express. But you don't have to bother. You can just pay with that Chase debit card. So well worth looking into that. I should say it's a digital-only bank. You have to have a phone for that. So if you're not comfortable opening up and managing a bank account on your mobile phone, then some of the cashback credit cards that I'll talk about in a minute, they might be better for you. The Chase one also can be used overseas fee-free. So that also beats the best overseas cards. But I'll touch on those ones later on as well. Now, before we do that, I want to take you through, as I always do, the credit card rules. And this is really important, right? Don't skip this bit. This is really, really, really vital, which is why I tell you about it every time I do one of these videos. If you are going to apply for a credit card, make sure you only use it for spending that you can afford. Just because you've got access to this cash, don't suddenly go, right, I'm going to buy this, buy this, buy that. is basically just a way to move your spending, a different way of doing it, and potentially hopefully earn some kind of reward as a result, or some kind of consumer protection. But do not use it for something you can't afford. The exceptions there are for 0% purchase credit cards, which will let you spread something out over potentially a year, 18 months, something like that. But it's something you know you can afford. It's just a bit too expensive right now. Or a 0% balance transfer credit card where you are moving your debt to a different card. So it's 0% interest. So you're just paying off the debt rather than paying off debt and interest. So there, I think the only reasons to have a credit card. If you're not comfortable with those options, or you think you're going to spend more than you can afford, do not get one of these. Look for other ways to kind of cut back, or other ways to get hold of some money that might help you, which are cheaper and less likely to kind of push you into some kind of debt. So that's really, really important. Second, if you are going to apply for one of these credit cards, make sure you do an eligibility check first of all. You can do this via comparison sites. You can do it directly with the credit card websites themselves. In most cases, some of them don't do this, but basically the importance of this is it will tell you your chances of success. The higher the chance, ideally pre-approved, that means there's less chance of a rejection, which means there's less chance of you having a bad sort of mark on your credit report. They won't necessarily know you've been rejected, but if you've been rejected for one and then you apply for another one, and get rejected, every single check you have in your credit report isn't great. I've got more details on credit reports up here in this video that you can watch. And then finally, the last one is when you are spending on your credit card that you've got, make sure you pay at least the minimum every single month, because that means you are avoiding a default and extra charges that might come on that. That's bad for your credit report. But ideally, and I want kind of all of you to do this, you want to pay that complete balance off every single month. So say you spent £500 on it, the statement comes through at 500 quid, you pay £500. You pay the full amount. Because this is really, really, really important, because this means you don't get charged interest. And again, this goes back to what we're saying, only use it for things you can afford. If you can afford to buy something, you've got the cash in your current account to pay off that card completely. In fact, setting up a direct debit or a standing order to pay that off every single month means you won't even forget for that full amount. And that last one is also why, when I tell you about these credit cards in a moment, I'm not going to tell you the interest rate, because I don't want you to get charged interest. If for some reason you think you're not going to be able to clear that total balance off every single month, then the interest rate becomes really, really important. And you want to sort of decide the credit card you're going for based on your chance of acceptance and then on what the interest rate is. Okay, so really, really important. Okay, I know I say I go over this every month. Hopefully you didn't skip this bit ahead. It's so, so, so important. Okay, let's get into it. Here are the best credit card offers and promotions right now in October and November 2021. Remember, this is just indicative of what's out there. There might not be the best ones for you. It's just going what you might be able to achieve. Do that eligibility checkup first of all. Let's talk first of all about cashback welcome bonuses. Already spoken about the American Express Preferred Rewards Gold credit card at the top of this video. £184 what you'd normally get as a welcome bonus if you spend £3,000 in 3 months. That is boosted until the 9th of November, and you will get £264. You've got to apply before the 9th of November to get that boosted amount. And again, those values are based on you converting those Amex points into Avios points and then into Nectar points. Now, if you've already got an American Express credit card, then there's those 2 other cards I mentioned are well worth looking at, because you are hopefully eligible for the welcome bonus there. Do check the terms and conditions for all of the things I'm talking about on the websites when you apply and do the eligibility checker. But there is the British Airways Amex Premium Plus credit card. That one, if you spend £3,000 in 3 months, the bonus could be worth around 250 quid, depending when you cancel the card to get that pro rata fee back, bring it back to you. Or there is the American Express Platinum credit card. Again, that could be worth around 250 quid. But the spend on that one is £6,000 in 6 months. So they have a look at both of those. But again, really, really important there that you have to convert those points into Avios points or into Nectar points as a result of that to get that size of value, and you have to cancel the card to get that fee refunded. Remember, really important actually to say you have to downgrade the card to the free option before you cancel it, because otherwise you'll lose the points that you've earned. Now, in terms of ongoing cashback credit cards, bearing in mind what I said about that Chase Bank debit card giving you 1% for 12 months, I would actually be looking now, I would be ignoring the American Express credit cards, and I would be looking instead at maybe store-specific ones. So the John Lewis and Partnership card that I mentioned, and the Amazon Platinum credit card as well. And particularly the Amazon one right now, because you have got that £40 welcome bonus. There are other Visa and MasterCard cashback credit cards and reward cards out there. Again, more details of those in the article over on the blog, which I regularly update. So if you want to look at the things from like Barclaycard rewards, the Lloyds cashback credit card, the NatWest rewards credit card, all those things, all that information over in the blog. But as I say, I'd be using the Chase Bank debit card instead personally. If you're looking to spread the cost of a purchase out over a certain amount of time, then you can get up to 23 months with Tesco Bank's credit card. You might not get that full amount of time though, but that is 0% up to 23 months. M&S guarantees 22 months, and there are plenty just below that. Again, to do that eligibility check to see which one works out best for you. In terms of balance transfer credit cards, so moving your debt from one credit card to another to avoid getting charged any interest, the longest 0% deal is 31 months from Santander. The transfer fee on that is 2.75%. If you want to avoid the transfer fee completely, then HSBC is giving 20 months 0% and you won't charge anything to move it over. Often that can work out cheaper than doing the transfer within 2.75%. It just depends how much long you'll need to clear that debt. So do make sure you work out the maths there. There's also money transfer credit cards. Nothing's really changed there particularly. Tesco and MBNA both have accounts there. If you go via a cashback site though, you might be able to get around 30 quid via Quidco or Top Cashback for the Tesco Bank one. Up to 15 months. There is a transfer fee with that one of 3.99%. Again, factor that in. If that's the way to help lower your overdraft or your catalogue debt, that fee could be much better than actually paying the interest that you've got there. And in terms of first time or credit building credit cards, I already mentioned that Amazon Classic credit card at the start of the video where you can get a £40 voucher as well. So if you're eligible for that, great one, get that, do your normal spending, clear it every single month after you've got the statement. And then that's going to help build your credit rating. Plus you've got a £40 voucher to use on Amazon. Alternatively, you could look at the Barclaycard Forward credit card because that one will give you £20 cash back if you go via Quidco or Top Cashback. And in fact, some of the balance transfer credit cards and purchase credit cards, it's also worth having a look at the cashback sites as well to see if you can get a little bit extra when you apply. Don't forget, as I said, for all of these, do the eligibility checker. I keep saying it because it is so important. Now, if you don't want to miss out on these regular updates, plus ones I do on savings and current accounts, plus the other videos I do to help your personal finance, please do make sure you hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell that pops up as well. And if you found this video useful, if you've learned something, you think you're going to save some money or make some money, please do hit that like button below and leave me a comment as well. Let me know what you're doing, if you're getting any credit cards, what bonuses, what offers you've got, what your experiences are. I'd love to find out. My name is Andy Webb. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, cheers. And here are a couple more videos you might find interesting.